Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 17th of August going through until Sunday the 23rd of August 2020. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Welcome to your weekly horoscope. I've written it up. I've had a look at what is going on each day of the week, how the planets are relating to one another and what energy that brings up. So this horoscope is based on UK time and it's for all signs of the zodiac. It's for everybody who watches. So if you're a Pisces or a Virgo or a Libra, this is about the energy that the planets form, and as above, so below, how all of us down here on the planet are going to be influenced by this, and how we can use the energy to our advantage. So if there's an opportunity to really assert yourself, then on a Thursday, for instance, then it's really a good idea to tap into that on Thursday and to just kind of ride the energetic wave. So that's what this is about. And then obviously, on the flip side of that, avoiding the downfalls, the days where there's potential for argument or loss or anything like that. All right, so starting with Monday, the 17th of August, we've got the moon going into Leo at 5:40 in the morning. The moon is how you feel, and Leo is ruled by the sun, the sunniest of all the signs. It's really about drama and being out in the public and enjoying yourself and having fun and being confident and laughing and just enjoying your life. And being passionate and animalistic and musical and full of humor and joy and all of those things that are associated with summer and freedom and being out to do as you please. So you having the moon in Leo in a fire sign really gives you a natural sense of confidence and it boosts your confidence. Mercury in Leo, the communication planet in the same sign, fire sign of Leo, you think in a way that is connected to fiery emotions and passions that are churning around inside of you. And that's heightened because Mercury forms a trine, so a harmonious relationship with Mars and Aries. And Mars is the red planet of I want what I want when I want it. And it rules Aries, so it's really pleased in that sign because Aries says, okay, let's break the door down so you can get what you want. I mean, you've been waiting 3 seconds, too long. You've got to have what you want immediately, instant gratification. So watch out for that. Being intolerant of lateness or being impatient, that can kind of come up with this combo. And then we have the sun in Leo. Sun again rules Leo, so super happy. A lot of happy kind of placements here, and that reflects and kind of rubs off on all of us here on planet Earth. The sun in Leo forms a conjunction with the communication planet Mercury in Leo. So Mercury is right on top of the sun. So altogether, Monday the 17th of August is an amazing chance for you to rebuild your ego and to shine. And it doesn't necessarily have to be rebuild your ego. It could be to build your sense of personality, your identity. That's what I mean by that. So naturally on Monday, you're much more confident than you usually would be. You're self-assured and you're eager to succeed in your own independent ventures. So you've got your own thing going on at the moment. You're focused on that, and it's really important that you do focus on that because you're thinking big with Mercury in Leo. You're articulate, you're fun-loving, and much more so than usually. And you're likely, if I could speak, you're likely to be extroverted even if you are introverted. So you could be an extroverted introvert. Those terms, by the way, I think it was Jung who came up with them. I mean, it's helpful in terms of labeling every little thing, because that's what people try and do, so that you can immediately put it in a little box and not have to think about it and to make quick, instant decision. Label, label, label. But I think it is helpful here on Monday because you may be feeling really extreme in the sense of, wow, where's all this energy and fun coming from? And really, if you have a choice to make, am I going to use this energy to be introverted and to do my own little thing, or to be extroverted and to really go places that I usually would be afraid to go and to put myself out there in a way that I usually can't, then really put it into being an extrovert as such. You're going to be a natural extrovert on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the 18th of August, we have the moon still in Leo. And it now sits on top of Mercury in Leo. So the moon, the way you feel, and the communication planet, they've moved into the same position. And they've joined the sun in Leo. So identity in the sign of the lion, the way you think in the sign of the lion, and the way you feel in the sign of the lion. So you're really powerful, you're resilient, you're able to transform things. Scorpio is very good at that because it can go into the hidden realms, but so is Leo because it can burn away the negative and it can replace it with this huge fire and this huge new sense of power and drive. So this is really an exceptional day in the sense that we have these three things coming together here, making Tuesday a really intense day in terms of the way you feel. I think it would be even heightened to the day before, Monday, where you have a lot of energy, but now on Tuesday you're really on a roll and things have really heated up and things are moving forward. What happens as well in terms of the connections the moon makes, it really connects with absolutely everything else in the chart, Chiron and Mars and absolutely everything. And because of that, you really have the ability to burn away things that have held you back in life because you're focused and you're self-contained. It's like me against everything else. And that is a rare kind of perspective you've got because usually you rely on other things and people and places as you interact with them in your daily life. But now on Tuesday, you're really looking at pretty much everything from your perspective. Is this fun for me? What do I get out of this? It's very much about me, myself, and I. And that's kind of rare because most people think along the lines of I have to be responsible and I can't do this because my parents wouldn't approve. And Tuesday, you have such a huge focus of that. You aren't just an extrovert now, you're bordering on selfishness because you're really blinkered and you're saying, what makes me have fun in life, regardless of everything else that I need to take care of and pay for and be responsible for. So if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of fun in your life, if you're codependent and you've given all your power away and you said, yes, okay, I won't do that because you'd like me home on Sunday afternoon instead of playing golf, or okay, no, I won't do that, yes, of course, I'll tighten my belt for your sake. If your life is like that, then this is a really good day to grab your power back and to say, enough is enough. So if you have problems with asserting yourself, Monday is amazing, but Tuesday is really exceptional, outstanding. You can get your power back in life, seriously, is in a life-changing, transformative way here on Tuesday, by committing to change, saying, okay, I don't love this. You say, I want to have things in my life that I do love. You commit to that change, you believe in yourself, and then you actually follow through. So if you're someone who's kind of imprisoned by other people's perception of you, like if you conformed in your family, they said, oh, you know, you can't be a dancer. The whole family for generation, we've been accountants. You've got to be an accountant. And you give in. It's like that play. It's the best. It's done in that play so well. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. One of the sons, there's Big Daddy, okay? He's got this huge estate and he's rich. And as it happens when the relatives come, everyone's kind of vying for attention and approval, and they're thinking about the inheritance that's to come and everything like that. And one of the sons is a total rebel, and the other one does everything the father wants in this endless search for approval from the father. And there's this really heartbreaking scene where the son is like, I've done everything for you. You know, you wanted me to be a lawyer, I became a lawyer. You wanted me to have a wife and 500 kids, and I did that. And why? Why don't you love me? That's really at the core of things, isn't it? Why don't you love me? Why are all these conditions in place? I don't understand that. And if you don't understand that, by the way, that really reflects well on you, because people who have a pure heart often don't have these little things in place that really make it really inauthentic. So if that's what you've been going after or struggling with, Tuesday is a fab day to break out of that cycle. Wednesday, the 19th of August, we've got the new moon in Leo at 2:43 in the morning, okay? So the new moon, I'll make a separate video on this. It's when the sun and the moon, they conjunct. The moon goes pitch black, it pulls energy in, and in this case, it pulls Leo energy in. So it's the start of an adventure. It's the start of your new life. It's the new focus, the new theme park in your world. So the new moon is the sun and the moon sitting together, like I said, but they also form connections with all the other planets. So I'll go into more detail in the video on the new moon. Check that out if you're interested. But on Wednesday the 19th, what happens on top of this is that the moon moves into Virgo later on in the day at 8:21 in the morning. And then Mercury, the communication planet, moves into a sign that it rules, Virgo. And that's a big shift. So Mercury in Leo is really, I think big, anything's possible, the world's my oyster, really carefree and sunny. Virgo is picking up the pieces after that. It's, in terms of the seasons, we've got August, summer, and then September is when you have to prepare for winter and you have to tidy things up. So Virgo thinks along those lines, and Mercury rules two signs. It rules Virgo and Gemini. So I always look at it like this. It's a switch with two settings. So the switch is on the inward position, Mercury in Virgo, that's inward, and it's I listen, I learn, I analyze, I make sense of info, therefore I understand and I know. And when it's in the outward position in Gemini, it's I articulate, I communicate the things that I have thought of and made sense of. I push myself into the world and I have an impact on the world rather than I let the world affect me and push itself into me. So the inward switch, Virgo, is very feminine, and the outward switch, Gemini, is masculine. Now we've got Mercury in Virgo, so you're able to really notice the details. You're able to think in a really responsible way when it comes to taking care of yourself and other people. You become somewhat nurse-like in your thinking, because it's like, okay, what's for the greater good here? And you become really responsible. But we still have the new moon in Leo, fire, and Virgo is an earth sign. So we have earth, still a lot of fire. And earth and fire, they work quite nicely together. So on Wednesday, we've got a meeting of these two worlds now. And I'd like you to think of this new moon in Leo as a bonfire of ideas. That's what I've put on here, because you're burning all the rubbishy stuff. You can throw all of that on there. And that's been a theme lately. That came up in one of the tarot readings, I think 3 or 4 days ago. It was about being able to just let go of things and watch them go poof, and to replace them with something positive. So you burn all the negative stuff in this bonfire of ideas, and that fire generates new ideas. The shift into Virgo later is ideal because it's the legwork to the dream. It's the practical steps to realize what you already see in your mind's eye. It's the bill after the meal. So that works really nicely to actually help you make things happen in your practical life. On Thursday, the 20th of August, we have the moon in Virgo opposing the water planet Neptune, which is in Pisces, the sign it rules, so another happy planet there. And it trines Jupiter, the lucky planet, Pluto, transformation and rebirth, and Saturn, structure, the father figure, support, limitation. Saturn also in Capricorn, and Saturn rules Capricorn, that's pleased, and it's a lot of outer planet energy. Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune. So 4 outer planets. So that's big and heavy. I mean, that energy is kind of generational. So you can't really, even if you try and assert yourself, you can't really do much to them or against them or anything to change. It's almost like a fact of life that you just have to accept. So I was writing this up earlier, but intuitively now I'm getting that there's this sense of David and Goliath, you know, poor little me with my Virgo moon against all these big boys out there. So for Thursday the 20th, what I wrote here is that this recipe of these planets, the energy they bring up, is that it gives you the ability to really analyze your existing circumstances and to make practical changes to them as a result. So that would be David is a little graphic designer, and the outside world is this grim grey place that's really bleak. And David does his little drawings for the world he wants to create, and he has to face this giant institution which says, no, you only build with concrete and it has to be grey. That's what the regulations say. And he wants to build a beautiful little coloured house out of wood. And it's about fighting that and listening. Okay, that's what I'm being told. Listening to the analysis that goes on inside of your own mind. So the way you understand things is very likely to be correct, because it's the little Virgo moon making sense of things quietly and accurately against all this outer energy. So I really feel that if people are trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or if people are trying to tell you one thing is true when something else entirely is the reality of the case, like people are trying to gaslight you or try and keep you to shut up or anything like that, if you're being hustled in any kind of way like that, Thursday is the day where your David can really beat that Goliath, that outer negative influence that's trying to do something to you as such. Also, because you're so analytical and because you make sense of things, if you've considered moving, starting or ending a relationship, or if you've thought of changing your job, please research and investigate all of those things today and act if you find the answer, the solution to your problem. If you've thought of moving and you find a fabulous house, make an appointment to go see it. It's a really good day to act. And it's kind of like in the second half of the week here on Thursday, it's like you've got the best of both worlds, the practicality of Earth and then the fire and the spine, the strength to actually see things through that you care about. Moving on to Friday, the 21st of August, we have the moon changing signs again now, and it goes into Libra at 9:17 in the morning. So that's moving out of the earthy sign of being practical, and it's going into an air sign, which has to do with connection, ideas, the way you communicate, the way you see things. The Libra moon also opposes the wounded healer Chiron in Aries, and it forms a quincunx with Uranus in Taurus, the rebel in the sign of the bull, and the wounded healer in the sign of the ram, bulldozing things forward. So this is a pretty significant change in energy. You may find that you're irritable because of it. Other people will demand more of you, and your attention may be divided, and that's kind of is like having something at the periphery of your vision, and it's kind of irritating, and it's just like, what is that? It's kind of this, why am I having to deal with this when I just want to be here? So continue to pay attention to detail, but don't put your own dreams on hold and keep the focus on your goals. So if you think back to Monday where we were then, it was you, and I was warning you about being potentially selfish. And now we're here on Friday, and things have been watered down, and it's like, okay, you still want to do what you want, you've got the analysis to actually make it happen, but now it's kind of like you're losing a bit of steam. So you see, it's like the ego almost sabotaging you by saying, okay, we'll let him do step 1 and step 2, but step 3 will kind of sabotage that, and then he or she won't get to the goal. So you're so close to achieving what you want. If you decide to be a school teacher at the beginning of the week, and you actually find a course by the middle of the week and you apply and you go for an interview, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if someone says, hey, you can't keep doing this teaching application thing, I'm really ill, you have to come look after me, then that's a huge decision. Because some people will feel guilty if they don't go look after that person. Some people will feel resentment if they do. So it's only a decision that an individual can make, but it's the universe's way of trying to get you off track, you see. So I'm warning you as such to keep your focus on the thing that you want and that you achieve, or that you see yourself achieving early on in the week. So continue to focus on your goals. Moving on into Saturday, the 22nd of August, the sun now moves into Virgo at 3:46 in the afternoon. So happy birthday to the Virgos. The Sun in Virgo is about, okay, let's take stock of things, which actually reminds me now, that Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn are in Capricorn, also an Earth sign, in retrograde, and it's like reviewing your existing life and reviewing what has happened this year with the world and how that's influenced you, your money, how you live, your daily routine. Review how that was, what you want it to be in future, and Virgo will help you to break down the actual hows and wheres and how you can get there. I worked as a massage therapist before the end of March 2020. I wasn't working for a couple of months. It was difficult. Now I'm through that crisis. I'm back to seeing a couple of customers, but I have had the opportunity to review the last couple of years of work, and I realized that, for example, that I'm not happy being a massage therapist, that I want to do things differently. And now, because of the break I had or continue to have, I'm able to review, and the message I'm getting is that the answer you're looking for is in the past and in a review of what you have done. And by taking stock of that and getting your answers from your own experience rather than asking other people, you're going to get the answer that you need. So go the Sun in Virgo, that's really good news. The Moon in Libra opposes Mars in Aries, so what does everyone want versus I don't care what everyone wants, I want what I want. So self versus the self in, the self about itself versus the self in connection to others, in connection with others. So there's a major blip there in Saturday's energy. And the Moon also squares the love planet Venus in Cancer, so they're both kind of involved now, the masculine, Mars, and Venus, the feminine. Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, all of them in Capricorn, also get involved in the mix here by also squaring the Libra moon. So on Saturday, the 22nd of August, you now have some of your power back thanks to Mars in Aries. Hooray, that's great. And you'll find it easier to stay focused on what it is you're doing and to assert yourself and to say, actually, that's all very well, but I have to go meditate for 2 hours. Bye. You may feel that to the extent that you go to the other extreme and that you not only become, assertive, but if you look at your connection with other people and some minor infraction in one of your relationships now suddenly becomes this big deal and bodes the absolute worst in your mind, and you feel like this is a slippery slope and things are just getting much worse and I'm forced to act. That could come up on Saturday, that you feel this, if I don't do something now, this is going to get worse and worse and worse. And that is not true. That's now your ego trying to put a spoke in the wheel. To put like a wrench in the spokes of the wheel, to ruin your progress by sabotaging you like this. So what I mean by this is you just getting annoyed about some minor thing that your partner does or someone at your work does. You blow it up in your mind, you're like, they did this on purpose and it's such an insult and such a, how dare they, that you become resentful and annoyed, and your energy gets poured into that rather than your journey forward with what you decided to do at the beginning of the week and then started to do. So if you're pushed today on Saturday, what do? Do I let things slide? Or do I make a big deal out of it? Let things slide. I'm not saying that you're letting them slide forever. Kind of put them on the to-do list in the sense of, okay, we need to discuss that, or this needs to be looked at in future, but I'm not going to deal with it today. And it's okay to do that on Saturday because it's still your trajectory, it's your path that you ought to be interested in, not the distractions that are coming into your life Friday, Saturday onwards. Okay? Now, moving on to Sunday, final day of the week, Sunday the 23rd of August, we've got the moon going into Scorpio at the end of the day. No, at the beginning of the day at 10:17 in the morning. The moon into Scorpio, I always do this because it's like diving into a pool. Because Scorpio deals with the hidden, with the mysterious, the taboo, the sexual, the intense, dark, emotional, obsessive stuff. And Scorpio is wonderful in taking that darkness and transforming it into light. Scorpio have amazing emotional range like that. It's about transformation and change. It's Hades in mythology, the underworld. So this Scorpio moon opposes Uranus and Taurus. So my feelings versus chaos in the outer world. That's the duality that we're seeing on Sunday the 23rd. So my prediction is that on Friday the 21st and Saturday the 22nd, you're going to make a lot of progress. And that you're going to find it a little bit more challenging than you did at the beginning of the week because your ego is trying to distract you and keep you from success. On Sunday, as well as on Saturday, you're really being supported by the universe. On Saturday, it was Mars and Aries coming in and saying, okay, hang on, what about me and my desires? And here on Sunday, you're being given the emotional strength to listen to your gut with the Scorpio moon Uranus opposition. So by listening to your gut instead of listening to what other people are saying, this is the truth, this is right, this is what you have to do, this is what you ought to do, you avoid a trap that potentially can be laid for you on Sunday by someone else, or you can avoid an emotional trap where you get into it with someone and things really blow up and you didn't want them to. So, on Sunday, remember who your friends are and enjoy those people and spend time with them. People you're unsure about, people who could potentially derail you, circumstances that seem fuzzy or murky or iffy or you just don't have a good feeling. Like, yeah, I was in contact with someone recently about some sort of contract. And it just, from the beginning, there was something that was like, And I have learned in my life that something that begins with that feeling is going to contain that feeling throughout. If something starts and it's like, okay, fine, we're doing this and it seems constructive, it's much more likely to maintain that. And you may think, okay, well, that's not rocket science, but it is. Because you get into a situation with an estate agent and it's like, they seem rather rude, but it's like, okay, whatever, I'll ignore it. I may just be overly sensitive, like the question is here. You're not being overly sensitive, you should listen to your gut in this instance, because you may hope that that relationship with that estate agent improves, but usually that, like I said, I mean, that first initial feeling is what stays and what remains. And particularly if you have this experience where you're like, I could either just put this aside and think that things are going to get better, or I can make a big deal out of it now and confront it, it's much more likely that you actually walk into the trap or the negative thing by confronting it. I would put it aside to review later on, but I wouldn't really engage with that at all today, because it's a lose-lose. If you confront it, things blow up on you, and you have to deal with all the negative kind of stuff that was being thrown at you. But if you focus on yourself and you put this aside to be handled later, either it will have blown over in a couple of days, or that's what I feel. It's like it's blown over, the emotions between you and another person or circumstance have changed, and there isn't anything to deal with later on. It's like one of those, oh, never mind, it was just in the day. Or it's something that you're able to address in a way that's more constructive in the week ahead, Monday the 24th, Tuesday the 25th. So I would avoid big roadblocks or things that are going to really take up a lot of your time and effort on Sunday. So we have to work through these issues and it takes 3 hours. If you can possibly reschedule that to a day later on, would be a good idea. Sunday the 23rd is not the day for that. It's a day for feeling supported by people who love you and enjoying those people and taking some time for yourself. So if you have the luxury of doing that, then please do. Okay, I'm just being told if that you're writing on a script or a book or a screenplay, the day should really be devoted to doing that because you've got the emotional juice to really create something wonderful. And again, you shouldn't let yourself be distracted by anything big that takes up your time like this. Devote yourself to something or someone you love. So the people you love or what you love doing, writing the screenplay. Amazing. So have a wonderful week. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the button on the front page to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, numerology, and my intuition. And I can answer any questions you've got. So if you do want to get in touch with me for that, head over to gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and give it a thumbs up. Share the video online if you like it and you want other people to see this. That would be awesome. And hit the subscribe button to join us lovely people on this channel. It's a really nice community of people. So if you want to join us, you're very welcome. Have a lovely week and I'll speak to you next week.